Ernst Ludwig Kirchner was a German expressionist, painter, and paintmaker. He was one of the founders of the artist group Die Brücke, also known as The Bridge. This group led to the foundation of Expressionism in the 20th century. Kirchner became one of the most talented and influential of Germany's expressionists. Another key influence was German painter and paintmaker Franz Moritz Wilhelm Mark. Mark was a founding member of Der Blue Reiter, also known as the Blue Rider. This group and art movement also had a heavy influence on German expressionism. Similar to The Bridge, the Blue Rider were also interested in depicting the nature of the universe as a means of self-expression. In this video, I will delve into Ernst Ludwig Kirchner's Bathers Beneath Trees Fehmarn, as well as Franz Moritz Wilhelm Mark's Bathing Girls. The human figure and the mountainous landscapes were a very common and central theme in many of Kirchner's work. He had an art studio where models would pose in the nude, which became crucial to his art. In many of his works, the figures were in movement, which he believed to add validity and depth to the human body. His work, Bathers Beneath Tree Fehmarn, painted in 1913, embodies many of these ideas as well as aspects of expressionism. The landscape of this painting is a woodsy and tropical island in Fehmarn. According to Norton Simon's gallery description of the artwork, the slashing brushstrokes betray a debt to Paul Cézanne, while green and orange flesh tones suggest the influence of Vincent van Gogh. There are many aspects of the German expressionist in this painting through the forcefulness of his work. Besides the jagged and angular brushstrokes, Kirchner had also distorted the anatomy scale and perspective of the nude figures. The painting is also filled with strong colors, both in the landscape as well as the nudes. The leaves and the trees of the landscapes appear to be in a primitive and wild fashion. The main focus of the painting, however, seems to be the figures. There are a total of 4 nude women in this painting. While the women give the impression that they are posing, they do not appear to be posing in a traditional and abstract sense. 2 of the women in the painting are facing the viewer, while one is sitting on her side with her body completely facing away. We also see one small figure crouching in the back, hidden behind the wilderness. The warm colors of the figures are used by Kirchner to express emotion and personality. While the figures seem to be blended with their surroundings, Kirchner's choice of the warm orange still makes them stand out. The figures are completed in long brushstrokes of a dark orange with touches of green used as shading, the same green that is used in the background of the wilderness. Behind them is an oval horizon with strong blue and green colors. I believe the way Kirchner uses few colors and incorporates those colors into the figures as well as the landscape is done to combine the composition of nature and humanity. Kirchner wants to express that the figures in a nude are one with the world. Similar to Ernst Kirchner, Franz Marc also felt a connection between nature and humanity. Much of Marc's work was in a natural setting and mostly contained animals. He used many bright colors to portray emotion. Color was used as a very important source to display emotion in Mark's paintings. Each color used in his work had a different meaning or purpose, and a significant way of setting the mood of the overall painting. According to an article on the art story, Mark was known to associate blue with masculinity and spirituality, yellow with feminine joy, and red with the physical and often violent world. Mark had a very expressive linear form and desired a color palette that would reflect a similar pattern. His expressive linear forms and symbolic use of color had a lasting impact on abstraction and expressionism in the world. Mark's painting, Bathing Girls, painted in 1910, also displays primitive landscapes and features. It seems as if Mark wanted to blend the landscape with the figures in order to make them coexist. According to the gallery description of the artwork at Norton Simon, the same undulating lines and fluid forms that animate the bodies also animate the landscape. The bodies and the landscape seem to be moving in the same motion and coexist in one universal rhythm. Some things to pay attention to is the way the tree trunks hug the figures. The tree trunks seem to be the framing of the photo, and Mark incorporates these fluid lines in order to depict this concept. It is as if Mark wants to state that nature is what holds humans together. The nude figures as well as the trees have similar curves to them. By doing this, Mark creates harmony between the landscapes and the figures. Another key feature used to create harmony is the use of color. We see the color yellow is heavily incorporated into this painting. Blue also seems to be used in the background of the painting. As mentioned earlier, Mark associates yellow to display femininity and blue for masculinity. I believe these two colors were used to combine femininity and masculinity together and correspond the opposite components of nature and humanity. While femininity and masculinity are seen to be opposite sides of the spectrum, so are humanity and nature. I believe Mark intentionally used lines and colors and blended them to create harmony between these opposite forces. Every aspect of this painting seems to be blended together, as if the trees, skies, water, and bodies are made of the same medium.